Hi, we are Environmental Engineering Team 4, working on the Centerdale Manor Superfund site. Our team is Scott Ackerman, Madeline Hassan, Andrew Macklin, and Taryn Shannon. The Centerdale Manor Superfund site is located in North Providence, Rhode Island. The site is split into 4 major zones, and our project focuses on the Oxbow area. The Oxbow is a 40-acre wetland, and the site has been core sampled, tested for 17 different dioxins and furans, but we have focused on 2378 TCDD, a very harmful dioxin. From 1940 to 1970, industrial activities occurred at the site, where chemical byproducts were dumped overland into the river and groundwater. In the 1970s, apartments were constructed at the site, and in 1999, the EPA began investigations, and the site was added to the National Priorities List the next year. In 2012, remediation began. 2378 TCDD is the most toxic dioxin, and 151 out of 662 samples were in exceedance of regulations. The EPA sets a universal treatment standard at 1 microgram per kilogram, and the alternate treatment capped at 10 micrograms per kilogram. Soil that is found to be in exceedance will be excavated and moved off-site for treatment or disposal. Under the Resource Recovery and Conservation Act, the soil has been classified as Waste Code F020. To be removed from the Oxbow site, it has to be either stored in a special landfill or stored in a high-efficiency incinerator. Before any mitigation measures can be implemented, the site will need to take appropriate action to deal with these substances.
Represented on this map are all the samples of 2378 TCDD taken in the Oxbow. The red dots are samples in which they are above 15 nanograms per kilogram. 3 samples were found to be above 10,000 nanograms per kilogram, which means that the area needs special incineration treatment after removal. Here are the proposed areas of excavation. The red areas need full excavation. In the yellow areas, we are recommending further testing due to their close proximity to the contaminated samples. And the green areas are deemed safe and no excavation is required.
Headgrass is being used to model the sediment transport as the site changes and model the inundation boundary post-excavation. The vegetation that goes back onto the site will be determined by several factors, including the growth rate, size, coverage, and the benefits that a specific species offers. In order to encourage wildlife to return to the site, several kinds of control structures will be implemented, such as bat boxes, artificial nest boxes, and man-made beaver dams. This cross-section of the site shows where each of the different kinds of wetlands starts and begins, as well as the depth from the river. The red line is the depth of soil that is being excavated.
The mitigation process includes the addition of microtopography, planting mounds, fencing, debris structures, erosion control, temporarily limiting public access, and long-term maintenance. Wildlife expected in the Oxbow includes birds such as warblers and hawks, mammals such as cottontail and river otters, amphibians such as salamanders and frogs, reptiles, various fish and shellfish species, and macroinvertebrates. Preservation features will be added as well, including bird boxes, standing logs, and debris structures.
We split our cost estimate into categories, with soil removal including the cost of equipment, disposal, and labor costs, assuming a 40-hour work week for 4 months. New soil addition, which included labor and equipment, assuming a 40-hour work week for 2 months. Vegetation for all 4 wetland types, plus the labor costs for 50 employees to plant 40 hours a week during July and August when the water levels are lowest. Wildlife features including beaver dams and vernal pools were added, and additional fees for contingencies in case of over-excavation at 10%. The total came to just over $22 million.
Thank you for watching.